Didn't make too many Irish people any the richer. Mention the northern rivals Derry and Cavan. And Derry no strangers to football headquarters. But for Cavan, well, there haven't been too many big days in recent years. But after gaining promotion to Division 1 for the first time in 10 years, well, their followers had high hopes today of extending their good run further in the league. Well, let's see how they got on then with your commentator, Ger Canning.
Cavan goalkeeper Damien O'Reilly played a large part in bringing his county to this quarter-final with a penalty save in the last match against Kildare. It's a side with 5 of the Cavan under-21 team which reached last year's final. Ronan Carolan, who missed that final, lines up in midfield alongside Stephen King, who was past fit to play yesterday, while team captain Jim Riley mans the centre half-back position. Derry draft Liam McElhenney into their half-forward line for the first time in the current league, following his impressive display in the McKenna Cup last weekend. In that same forward line, Damien Barton is installed at full forward, with Seamus Downey on his right and Anthony Quigg at top of the left. Joe Irwin is on the 40, while Plunkett Murphy and Brian McGilligan provide a formidable midfield. And as you'll gather, the weather this afternoon is damp and inclement. The wind is blowing from right to left. Crowd rather small, predominantly from Cavan, but then Derry had a very long journey to make it here to Croke Park this afternoon. And Paddy Collins from Westmeath, one of the most experienced officials in Gaelic football, getting this first quarter-final underway, and it's Cavan playing from left to right and already winning a free. A push there on their full forward, Vivian Dowd. So they play into the breeze, remember, and the rain lashing into their faces in the first half. This is Ronan Carolan, returned after 5 months' absence through injury in early February, and the side hasn't been beaten since. So a chance for Cavan to go in front. Ronan Carolan does the needful. That's now 15 points he's scored in 3 matches so far. Terrific return. Damien McCusker, the Derry goalkeeper, one of 5 Damiens playing this afternoon at Croke Park. And Derry will be expected to use the elements in the first half. But it's Seamus Donoghue once again showing pace. Chance of a second score, but he over-travelled. Point doesn't count. It took more than the 4 steps allotted. So that's going to be a free out for Derry and a bit of a let-off as well. Disappointment for the Cavan fans. The midfield battle here should be interesting, with Carolan and King for Cavan against Murphy and McGilligan of Derry, and the referee again spots a foul. This time it's going to be a Derry free for a push. Joe Irwin here, the veteran of the team with long experience. Down to Brian McGilligan, well blocked however by Jerry Sheridan, but it goes behind for a 45. Plenty of incident down in the opening 3 minutes. Enda Gormley then to take this 45 with the breeze blowing over his right shoulder. Taken by the fullback. Niall O'Donnell here. Free to Cavan for a high challenge. And Niall O'Donnell has switched wings, operating over on the left wing. Challenge there by Liam McElhenney. Robbed. And good covering back there by Niall O'Donnell again. Damien Barton. And it's well on its way and over. Damien Barton, having gone out to that wing, has tied up the scores. With 6 minutes gone, the full forward has squared up the match. Damien O'Reilly towards Stephen King in the middle. Seamus Donoghue trying to wrestle it away there from Tony Scullion. And at this stage, Derry trying to make the most of the wind which is in their favour. The half-backs are pressing forward. They're trying to capitalise on slack passes out of defence. That's Joe Irwin. Barton under it. Saved by the goalkeeper again. O'Reilly's going to have a very busy opening 30 minutes. That's Jim Riley. Liam McElhenney. And again, the Cavan goalkeeper Damien O'Reilly equal to it. Out to Michael Faulkner, former full forward. This is Desi Brady, last year's under-21 captain. Brian McGilligan. And Brian fouled not once but twice. The referee saw he wasn't getting any advantage from it, so he's signalled a free to Derry. Brian Keely's free towards Joe Irwin, and coming behind Jim Riley and connecting with the back of Jim Riley. The foul resulting in a Cavan free. Paddy Collins explaining just why. Niall O'Donnell, who switched wings with Barry McArdle right at the start of this match. Plunkett Murphy down towards Damien Barton, swept away from him by Pat Faulkner. Pat, who's the brother of Michael Faulkner in the Cavan half-forward line. O'Donnell again, back to Faulkner. Towards Stephen King. He can be an influential midfielder, but outfielded on this occasion by McGilligan to the totally unmarked Damien Barton. Oh, beauty! Went through the netting, just about, but it's a lovely goal. That's a sweet finish by Damien Barton. He got a goal and 2 points last week against Fermanagh in the McKenna Cup game at Enniskillen. And we were just wondering, indeed, whether he can be the man to solve their difficulties. Watch as that ball was flighted in. Pat Faulkner, having made a clearance just a moment or two ago, was absolutely nowhere as Barton drifted in. And the shot was absolutely perfect away into the corner. Plunkett Murphy fists down, but it goes back towards McGilligan. Slips away from him in the breeze, fed on by Stephen King. Jim Riley again supplying the ammunition up to Derek McDonald on this occasion. Had to hold off the back. To Carolan, and Ronan Carolan is Cavan's only scorer so far. That's his second point. A nice bit of teamwork. They build up slowly. There's great intent and deliberation in their play. That was a nicely executed and well-struck point. Derek MacDonald fed the tireless Ronan Carolan from the 20-metre line. That went over. Touchdown to Desi Brady. Jim Riley has been very much in the action, but he was over-signalling his intentions on that occasion, and that was Tony Scullion nipping in. Caught on this occasion by Pat Faulkner, trying to get the better of Damien Barton. Feeds it forward with the fist to Ronan Carolan, to the on-running Barry McArdle, to John Brady. What a piece of handling that was. That's the second fabulous catch he's made. Well, what a point it would have been at the finish. But this guy has glue-like fingers. That was a terrific catch. The Cavan following, responding, not over there, but underneath the stand here. Ronan Carolan jumping with Plunkett Murphy. Niall O'Donnell has difficulty holding on to it. That's Liam McElhenney. Forced into the error by Michael Faulkner. Ronan Carolan thought he was getting a free that time. Cavan forward still to score. There are only 2 points coming from that midfielder, Ronan Carolan. That's down towards Stephen King. Oh, that's whipped in, and it's a goal by Derek MacDonald. Derek MacDonald puts Cavan ahead with 3.5 minutes to go to half-time. All the hard work was done by Seamus Donoghue, the number 10, as that ball was fed across from Stephen King. Watch the number 10 have a lash at it. The goalkeeper made a fabulous reflex save, but that's perfect position by MacDonald to slot in Cavan's only goal. So Cavan, playing against the breeze, are in front by a point. At a critical time in the match, just coming up to half-time. Jerry Sheridan feeds it forward towards John Brady, tries to work it down towards Seamus Donoghue. That was a great save, but a great bit of opportunism at the finish by MacDonald. So Derry now really are in some trouble. Damien Cassidy now operating at left half-back. Kept in play there by Enda Gormley, fouled on the 13-metre line. Barry McArdle then conceding the free. Gormley, who's a left-footed kicker, leaving this free. So Liam McElhenney is the one who's going to kick it in. But he misjudges the breeze, misjudges the kick, and the chance has gone astray. That's worked on to Dessie Brady. Trying to link up with the goal scorer Derek MacDonald. The running here by Vivian Dowd. Tall ball forward. Nicely caught by Brady again. He's getting there ahead of McKeever on all occasions. That's MacDonald, head to shoulder. The referee says it wasn't shoulder to shoulder. McGilligan protests and is penalised 10 metres, which means it's on the 20-metre line. And an excellent chance then for Cavan to take a 2-point lead into the half-time break. Carolyn has kicked 2 points so far. This should be number 3. Confirmation of that position. It's Cavan 1-3, Derry 1-1. And the Cavan supporters then in jubilant form here at Croke Park. And how good it is to see Cavan and their team back here in action in Croke Park, back in something approaching the big time, as it were. Joe Irwin now at half-back, remember. Down towards Damien Barton. But the lively sod carries that one harmlessly out over the end line. Referee checking on the watch as we head into injury time in this first half. Stephen King prodding it forward with the fist to Dessie Brady, who's operated very effectively on the 40. To Derek MacDonald, the transfer to Vivian Dowd. Forward to Jim Riley, the centre half back, remember, and team captain, an inspiring leader, to Dowd. Safely taken by McCusker in the Derry goal. And the referee's whistle sounds for half-time. It's been an excellent first half for Cavan. Back here at Croke Park. That goal by Derek MacDonald with 3.5 minutes to go to half-time gave them a decided edge after Damien Barton had goal for Derry after 12 minutes. And with 2 points separating the teams heading in for the dressing room, the half-time position is Cavan 1 goal and 3, Derry 1 goal and 1. Confirmation of the half-time position. Certainly it's been a day for the hip flask and thermals. From the players' point of view, of course, playing in Croke Park and getting the experience of playing here is always very important. But for the fans who wanted the game played in Ulster, well, I'm afraid they've not supported the fixture in large numbers. So Paddy Collins then, just wanting the midfielders together, checks the watch. 2 point between the sides. Cavan with the aid of the breeze now for the second half. Brian McGilligan hoping to make a positive start to the second 30 minutes. Feeding it forward as far as Joe Irwin, who spent so much of that half playing back on the half-back line. And playing into the breeze, it's a flawless finish, and there's just one between them. A point from a free then after 35 seconds of the second half. Joe Irwin the scorer. Stephen King should have made that his. McGilligan looks more determined. Held off, and the referee indicts Stephen King. Breeze whipping up a bit again and blowing into the faces of the Derry players for the second half. Joe Irwin seeks to put the sides on level terms, and that is achieved remarkably inside 2 minutes of the second half. So now Cavan have seen their half-time advantage wiped away completely. And Derry pick up the tempo and the initiative. Damien Barton realising that that was a lost cause. Faulkner, one of 4 King's Court players playing for Cavan this afternoon, and that carries forward towards Derek MacDonald, threaded away by Brian Keeley, and clear holding there, right beside the referee against Niall O'Donnell. He was the player being held. Jim Riley wants a bit of movement up front, and some running off the ball by his forwards. Ground tackle, which is outside the rules. That against Brian Keeley from Dungiven. So Ronan Carolan has this opportunity to restore Cavan's advantage. Breeze blowing from right to left, but he judges it to a T, and it's 1-4 to 1-3. Ronan Carolan has got Cavan's 4 points. Oscar doing well against the breeze. Picked up by Liam McElhenney. McGilligan here. Ooh, a bad pass intended for Plunkett Murphy, but Ronan Carolan was reading the intentions. That's Michael Faulkner, blocked down by Tony Scullion. Brady here, a busy corner forward. He's got 6 points from 4 league matches so far, but hasn't scored so far this afternoon. Kieran McKeever's kick. Out of play, so possession back with Cavan. They would have expected Derry to have come out from the dressing rooms following the half-time talking there by Tommy Diamond with a certain amount of fire in their play. Certainly they approached the opening 2 minutes very positively, so it's up to Cavan now to take the game once again. And that's gone sailing over. Nice point from Ronan Carolan from way out the field. That's 5 he's got now. Marvellous contribution, and he restores Cavan's half-time lead of 2 points. 1-5 to 1-3. Keeley is leaving the action, and it's time for Derry to bring in a fresh player. Barry Young, as the player has come in, is going to operate at right corner back. Damien McCusker sees that kick out, touchdown, and there's a foul again by Stephen King on Mickey Berryman. Derry then trailing by 2 points, bidding to get into the semi-finals for the first time in 13 years. We've had 4 points in the second half so far in the opening 10 minutes, but I think 3 of those have come from place balls. This is Damien O'Reilly under pressure. And the referee's whistle sounds. The ball was touched on the ground. And it's going to be a free from 20 metres in. So Derry can pin back the lead to just 1 here. Enda Gormley, who rarely spurns free chances, hasn't scored so far in this match. When playing with the breeze in the first half, he's made amends now, and it's back to just a 1-point differential. So 1-5 against 1-4. Damien Cassidy getting there first for that kick out. Anthony Quigg, a neat pick up. Not playing an orthodox corner forward role in it at all. This is Cassidy again, trying to go around Barry McArdle. Space at a premium. Who trying to get through the eye of an eagle, or just about. Picked up back there by Seamus Donoghue. And it's Jerry Sheridan lashing it forward towards Desi Brady, down to Plunkett Murphy. Spotting the unmarked McGilligan in midfield. Challenged unfairly outside the 65-metre line and a free to Derry. Brian McGilligan is a very prominent hurler and footballer, played for Derry in the hurling league last Sunday. Tony Scullion stabbed forward towards Anthony Quigg at the outside of the boot to the unmarked Plunkett Murphy. If he can turn on the right boot here. And that one has gone over and the side's level again for the second time in the second half, and it's Plunkett Murphy who gets off the mark, his first point of the afternoon. Interesting that both teams, it seems to me, are playing better against the breeze. Stephen King fetches high, drives long. That's the substitute Barry Young. Vivian Dowd picking up the greasy ball, trying to link up with a colleague, and it's played in over the sideline. So every opportunity absolutely vital at this stage. Cavan trying to nurse their openings, and this is Seamus Donoghue. Beautifully curled in towards Vivian Dowd, but Brian McGilligan, who's played so much better in the second half, leaves it behind on this occasion to John Brady. McGilligan again toe pokes it away, but not to safety, only as far as Barry McCargill to Jim Riley, the Cavan captain, bidding to give his side the lead. That he does. 1-6 to 1-5. 9 minutes to go. Can that be the signal for Cavan to really take a grip? 29 years since Cavan last played in the National Football League semi-finals. That was the year they reached the final and were beaten in that final. Cavan, a county hungry for success. Riley again. This time it's on to Donoghue. Towards the unmarked John Brady. If he can take care with this one and start it over. Or maybe there's a goal on for MacDonald. There is! A second goal for Derek MacDonald. Ahead by a goal and a point now. 22 minutes into the second half, and the Derry marking was dreadful. Brady was unmarked, but he had the composure to hold it. He could have gone for a point. Instead, he spotted the opening. MacDonald on the edge of the small square beats the goalkeeper. The Cavan hero, who's got 2 goals this afternoon, a goal in each half. Cavan now, trying to increase and stretch that lead. Brady again. This is Barry McCargill. Back to Desi Brady. That's a beauty. 5 points between the teams. An important time for Desi Brady to get his first point of the match. They are absolutely jubilant across there on the Cusack stand. Cavan making a change, and Vivian Dowd has been replaced, and Derry are also bringing in a fresh player. That's Vivian Dowd who's gone off. It seems to me that it's Lawrence Brady who's come in, who's a brother of Desi Brady, who got that last point incidentally, and Fergal McCusker has come in for Derry in place of the out-of-form Ender Gormley. Will the changes have a bearing? Jerry Sheridan holds it up and it's foul just outside his own 45-metre line. The game was milk and water for the opening 20 minutes of this half, but that point by Jim Riley, which gave them the lead, seemed to inspire them. Now ahead by 2-7 to 1-5. 6.5 minutes to go. Berryman cuts it out for Derry, who need a score badly now themselves. Taken quickly by Tony Scullion. Touchdown by Damien Barton, but only to the waiting Damien O'Reilly of Cavan. He's been given an adventurous role by the Cavan selectors. They've told him to press forward. That he's done in the second half. Scullion blocks it down, but it's blocked away here by Stephen King, hampered by a hamstring injury, but playing gamely and battling his heart out for Cavan. On towards Seamus Donoghue, inside the Derry cover again. This is sort of left with a ticker. Saved, however, on the line by McKeever. It's another 45. That was a blistering shot. Receiving the pot of congratulations there from Lawrence Brady. This is the shot. It suited a left-footed kicker, certainly. Raiding from that left wing, getting in there well ahead of Damien Cassidy, and McKeever makes the save. This is a super finish to this match. Gabriel Kelly wanted to come on and issue some instructions to Jim Riley, his captain. The referee says, away you go. Carolan takes the 45. It's off target, however. Cavan 2-7, Derry 1-5. 5 minutes to go in a semi-final place awaiting one of these teams. Berryman's under the dropping ball, trying to link up with his corner back. Again, it's Mickey Berryman, pursued by Lawrence Brady. Some high challenges. That's a dangerous one by Michael Faulkner. One has seen referees take names for incidents like that, but Paddy Collins decides it doesn't bear precaution. Scullion's kick. What's Plunkett Murphy, touchdown here. The waiting Joe Irwin. Again is a high challenge by Lawrence Brady, and this time the referee says enough is enough. And the substitute has been in the game, I would say about 2 minutes. Has the dubious distinction of having his name taken straight away. And there's a Derry player down injured as well, and that is Joe Irwin. Paddy Mackle is ready to come into the action, has come in, by the way, and going off the out-of-form Damien Cassidy. This was that last incident again. Watch that challenge there. Very high, very dangerous, and a definite booking. Scullion's kick. Over 50 metres out. Plunkett Murphy raiding. Away it goes by Pat Faulkner. But only as far as Quigg. On the end line. They need a goal here. And McGilligan was the one, but it was saved splendidly on the line. Brilliantly saved by the fullback, Pat Faulkner. Well, that was a critical save by the fullback. He may have been culpable for one or two Derry scores in the first half, notably by Damien Barton, but on this occasion he was splendidly placed to make the save and complete the clearance. 3 minutes to go. Again it's sailing in, and two big men raiding inside the small square, and the referee says that it was a square ball and he's disallowing the score. So Damien O'Reilly, who made that penalty save we told you about at the start of this programme against Kildare in the last match. He made two others earlier in the league campaign against Dave Barry of Cork. They've been vital saves for the Division 2 team, now poised to beat the team from Division 1. Derry were third in the league table, remember. This is the first of the quarter-finals. This is Faulkner. This is MacDonald. Their confidence is high now, using the elements to telling advantage. Donahue again, electing to pass judiciously to MacDonald, who slides past that tackle and drives the kick over the bar. He's made an immense contribution. 2 goals and a point now for Derek MacDonald. Cavan football certainly is back in the big time. 2-8 to 1-5. And these fans who've made the journey down from Cavan will feel it's a journey well made. Donahue jumping with 3 Derry men, but it's rifled forward by Barry McCardle. He's happy to just put it about anywhere, I would imagine. McCusker's got it. Young here. Danny Quinn rather. McGilligan. Jerry Sheridan lashing it back. And the driving rain and the wind here at Croke Park. Barry Young has his shot blocked down by the Cavan substitute Lawrence Brady. Onto Michael Faulkner. Right-footed. Saved by McCusker. Challenged by Brady. Released to McKeever. This is Mackle. And yet another Derry substitute there pushed in the back. That was Fergal McCusker. Joe Irwin. McCusker again. Taking it on the drive. Outside to Damien Barton with that misdirected pass gives possession back to Cavan. That will suit them nicely. Towards Jim Riley, an ambitious pass. Cavan cannot afford to make mistakes at this stage. Faulkner, it's a nicely balanced team. Some splendid individual performances all over the field. And once the defence tightened and got the measure of Derry, the forwards certainly blossomed. And Donoghue has left to illustrate that. Pokes it over with remarkable confidence, sublimely optimistic, but inside 45 metres, they can do little wrong. That's 1-9 to 1-5. An important boost this for Cavan, not just for the remaining part of the league and their promotions hopes. They're back, of course, in Division 1 for the first time. But looking ahead to the Ulster Championship, this will do their confidence a lot of good. Plunkett Murphy outside. The pick up by Quigg. The corner forward who's operated for much of the game as a roving half forward, it seemed to me. Grounded by Lawrence Brady inside. Oh, and a challenge that might well result in the corner forward getting his marching orders, but the referee decided, let's be lenient. Match is almost over in any case. So it's Lawrence Brady against Plunkett Murphy, and he misses them completely. He decides that's it. Cavan haven't appeared in a National League final for 29 years, but they've taken another step in the right direction this afternoon. As the fans spill onto Croke Park, they account for Derry by 2-9 to 1-5. I'm afraid Derry's frailties in attack were again in evidence, and Cavan can truly claim to be somewhere near the big time again. Ronan Carolan delighted as Division 2 beats Division 1 at Croke Park. You offered your congratulations to Cavan and described it as a good, hard, struggling game of football. Is that how you saw it?
It was, because conditions today didn't... there weren't really conditions for good football, and unfortunately our team, we like good conditions because we have a few ball players, but as suited Cavan more so, and mind you, they show that they have some very, very good ball players. Yes, sum up Cavan for me at this stage. How good are they? How good can they get? They're a young side, and under Gabriel's managementship, I reckon they'll go a long, long way. And where now for Derry? Well, back to the drawing board again. Unfortunately, I felt I had got a good side together, but transpires that I haven't, and well, we'll be working hard now to get a team back to the championship again.
We were a little concerned about coming to Croke Park as a lot of our players hadn't played here before, but overall I was very, very pleased with this play. Now basically it's a very young side. You've built on the nucleus of last year's under-21 success. Right, quite a few of them are on the panel, all right, but we were depending at the same time for more experienced players like Jim Riley and Stephen King, Derry McDonald, Michael Faulkner, these lads to show the way to the younger players, especially in Croke Park. And I'm very pleased with the way they came up trumps today. You must have been very pleased in particular the way they battled in the first half, playing against the breeze, and in fact went in leading. Yeah, we're very pleased at half-time to go in the way we did, but having said that, we were a bit concerned for the first 10 minutes of the second half when Derry came back and drew at us. But I knew that if we got the chances, we were playing good ball out of the fence and that, and I felt the team was moving well. If they got an opening, they'd take advantage of it. And when we got their next goal, I felt we were home and dry. You got two very good opportunist goals indeed. Yes, two goals very well taken by Derek McDonald, who's an expert at that type of thing around the square. Towards the unmarked John Brady. If he can take care with this one and slot it over. Or maybe there's a goal on for McDonald. There is! A second goal for Derek McDonald! So now you advance to the semi-finals for the first time in something like 29 years. Now the likelihood is you'll be playing Dublin. How does that appeal to you? Well, to be honest, we didn't even think of that far yet. But now that if it is Dublin, we know we are going to have a job on our hands. But we'll give it a go, as the saying is. The fans are willing you to be back in the big time. You're back in Division 1, of course. Does it place a very big burden upon Cavan footballers with the weight of tradition upon your shoulders from time to time, and everybody expecting you from time to time to come back and be Ulster champions?
Well, no, I don't think the players are that much hindered by the tradition that there is in Cavan. There has been a Cavan supporters club formed in the county, and everybody is behind the team. positively, and nobody criticising us, and everybody hoping that we go out and do our best in every game. And so far we've been going very well.
Are there any limitations, do you feel, to the possibilities this team can actually produce?
Well, we're taking one game at a time, you know, and we've come a long way since the new team management took over. We're won Division 2, have got promotion. We've won the quarter-final and we're now in the semi-final. So, we'll take
around a talented nucleus of the Hendersons and the Fennellys. In the full back line, Pat O'Dwyer and Willie O'Connor